For many men, the idea of liking a woman more after lovemaking can be difficult to comprehend. It's not uncommon for men to feel that they don't like a woman more after they've been intimate with her. This could be due to a variety of factors, including a lack of emotional connection, feeling uncomfortable in the situation, or simply not wanting to get too attached. In this video, we will explore why some men might find it hard to like a woman more after lovemaking and what they can do about it. So let's count down the 10 top reasons why men didn't like her anymore after lovemaking. 10. Past experiences shape your views. Men's past experiences have a huge impact on how they view lovemaking. From childhood, men are taught to view sex as something that is only for pleasure and not for emotional connection. This can lead to a lack of understanding of the importance of emotional intimacy in relationships. As adults, men may struggle to understand the importance of emotional connection in lovemaking and may be unable to express their feelings or desires in a way that is meaningful to their partner. Our past relationships can affect how we approach lovemaking and connection with our partners. Our partner may not be as skilled in lovemaking as we may have hoped or thought, which could be a huge disappointment and a feeling of a letdown. 9. Fear of vulnerability. The fear of vulnerability after sexual intimacy can stem from various social and cultural factors, such as the societal expectations of masculinity that equates vulnerability with weakness. Additionally, personal past experiences and insecurities can also contribute to this fear. However, it is important to understand that vulnerability is a natural and human aspect of relationships, and being open and honest about one's emotions can actually strengthen the connection between partners. It's also worth noting that not all men experience this fear, and it is not limited to men, as anyone can feel vulnerable after intimate moments. 8. Love takes time. Love is not something that can be rushed or forced. It takes time to develop and requires a foundation of trust, communication, and emotional connection. You can't just have sex with someone and expect to automatically fall in love with them. Love is a slow and gradual process, and it requires both parties to be open and vulnerable with each other. You need to get to know the person on a deeper level, understand their values, beliefs, and goals, and build a connection that goes beyond just physical attraction. In addition, love requires effort and commitment from both parties. You need to be willing to put in the time and energy to build a relationship that is based on mutual respect, understanding, and support. 7. Physical attraction doesn't equate to emotional connection. Physical attraction is often seen as a key factor in a man's decision to pursue a relationship. However, it's important to note that physical attraction does not always equate to an emotional connection. Men may be drawn to someone based on their physical appearances, but this does not necessarily mean that they will form an emotional bond with them. It's possible for men to be attracted to someone without forming an emotional connection with them. This can lead to relationships that are based solely on physical attraction and lack the depth of emotion necessary for true intimacy and connection. 6. Sex doesn't reveal character. Making love is often seen as a way to reveal the character of a person, especially for men. However, that's not always the case. While lovemaking can be an incredibly intimate and meaningful experience, it does not necessarily reveal the true character of a person. Making love is often seen as a physical expression of feelings and desires, but it is important to remember that the ways in which people express themselves intimately are unique and do not always reflect their core values. For this reason, before judging someone based on their bedroom behavior, it's critical to get to know them better and understand them on a deeper level. This helps avoid any misjudgments and creates a trusting relationship. 5. Different expectations. When it comes to intimacy and relationships, it's important to have a clear understanding of each other's expectations. Different people have different views on what they want from a relationship, and it's crucial to have a conversation about these expectations before engaging in an intimate relationship. For example, one person may be looking for a casual physical relationship, while the other person may be looking for something more serious and long-term. If these expectations are not aligned, it can lead to confusion, frustration, and even heartbreak. It's also important to talk about expectations related to intimacy, such as frequency and boundaries. Some people may prefer to make love more frequent, while others may prefer to take things slower. Having open and honest communication about these expectations can help ensure that both parties are comfortable and satisfied in the relationship. 4. Physical pleasure doesn't equate emotional pleasure. It's essential to recognize that physical gratification and emotional satisfaction are two distinct experiences. Intimacy can be an enjoyable experience that provides physical pleasure, but it doesn't necessarily equate to emotional pleasure. Emotional pleasure comes from a deeper connection and understanding with your partner. Lovemaking can be a physical release, but it doesn't necessarily bring happiness or fulfillment in the long term. Experiencing emotional pleasure with your partner is a result of having a strong bond and mutual understanding. It can bring lasting joy and satisfaction that continues even after the physical pleasure has passed. 3. The pressure to perform. In today's world, men are often under a lot of pressure to perform. This pressure can come from different sources, such as family, friends, and society. It can lead to feelings of anxiety and depression in men who feel like they're not living up to expectations. Intimacy in relationships can be adversely affected by external pressures as well. Men in particular may feel the need to prove themselves or compare themselves to others, which can lead to anxiety and insecurity. This can have a negative impact on relationships and can lead to feelings of disconnection and distance between partners. Talking about personal issues can be difficult for men and make them feel embarrassed or inadequate. This might create a further disconnect in the relationship or depression and other mental health problems. The good news is that communication is key. If couples are able to talk openly about their issues and work together towards solutions, they can minimize the negative effects of these external pressures. 2. Lack of intimacy. Lovemaking is supposed to be an intimate experience between two people, but for some, it can lead to a lack of connection and a feeling of emptiness. For men in particular, it can be difficult to establish a deeper connection if they don't feel that their partner is truly invested in the experience. This can create a feeling of disappointment and frustration if there's no emotional intimacy present during lovemaking. As a result, many men find themselves not liking their partner more after lovemaking due to the lack of intimacy and connection they feel. Some other reasons may be due to physical or psychological factors, which can be caused by stress, depression, low testosterone levels, performance anxiety, feelings of shame or guilt, or past sexual trauma. Maintaining a healthy relationship is key, and having an honest discussion with your significant other is essential to addressing any worries you may have. 1. One-night stands can be disappointing. For many people, one-night stands can be disappointing and leave them feeling empty and unfulfilled. This is especially true of men when it comes to lovemaking. After a passionate night together, a man may find that the person they thought was so attracted to suddenly doesn't seem as attractive anymore. He may have a different opinion of them now that he has had first-hand experience with them. It's possible he doesn't think as highly of them as he did previously. This is a common phenomenon among those who engage in one-night stands. The physical act of lovemaking can often lead to a disconnect from the emotional connection that was there before. It's important to remember that this doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad experience or that there wasn't any chemistry between the two people involved. It just means that sometimes lovemaking can change our feelings about someone in unexpected ways. Now you know the top 10 reasons why a man doesn't like her more after lovemaking. I hope this video was informative and gave you some insight into the male perspective. Has anyone ever experienced the disappointment of connecting with someone they thought was special, only to find out that their chemistry wasn't as strong after intimacy? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you at the next one.